my 1968 GMC cabbed 1970 body C10. Now, we're here. The intention behind the truck was simple. I wanted a classic that could pull my cars to the track. That being said, that means it needs to tow. And looking at it right now, it's not quite in a shape to do that. So originally, this isn't really how I wanted to start this video. I had some pieces on this table over here that I was pretty well prepared to install in the truck. And then I did it. I put them on the truck. I didn't record. This truck's taken apart, or at least in a couple of pieces, close to ready to put back on the road. So let me walk you through what I've done.
Firstly, I put a clear lens on this dome light.
So there was a fuel cap there, but now the fuel cap and the fuel tank are sitting here on my garage floor. But what I did do was replace the fuel cap. The original fuel cap wasn't vented, or at least it wasn't venting very well, so the tank was building pressure while I was driving. It was a noticeable smell and hiss when I would take the gas cap off after I'd driven it. These original C10s didn't even come with a vented tank, no return line in the field either, so they required vented fuel caps. That's something I installed. So while I'm down here, let's talk about these. These are Holley Retro Brights. I got rid of the old Sylvania halogens and put in a set of LED Holley Retro Brights. They look like the originals, so it keeps that classic look. However, significantly brighter while driving. It makes a very large difference in my visibility, and that's something that I don't really compromise on any of the vehicles that I drive, be it a daily or a project car. Let's face it, this classic needed new mirrors. It had garbage circular hot rod mirrors, and that wasn't going to cut it. So, out with the old, in with the new. Got rid of the old circular ones, and then just got these nice new square ones. Ripped them off, and then bolted these right up. So that's pretty much it for the easy stuff. So the next couple of things that I got into required a little bit more time. So I found out, while taking it apart, the wiring, there were 4 different things that were grounding out on my headers. So in order to keep my car from burning to the ground in my garage, I figured it was probably safe, let's get a painless harness. So, as you can see, I'm halfway through installing this painless harness. I've got part of the front wired up, and I've got wires to the rear, wires hanging out in the dash. We're still getting there. Then I got a case of, well, while we're here-ism, and we all know how it goes with projects. You start taking one thing apart, you start taking other things apart, and now I've got sound deadening and new carpet in the truck. So originally, the carpet that was in this was paper thin, ripped up, held a lot of dirt, was garbage. After peeling everything back, I decided, all right, well, let's put some sound deadening in this thing because it rattles like a tin can when it's running down the road. Amazon basic sound deadening was 1/4 of the price of the competitors. How could I fight that? So I picked up 4 boxes of this stuff. And you know what? It laid down really easy. I grabbed just a Chinese heat gun off of Amazon, heated up the back end of it, ran it all along the floor and then all along the backing here, and when you know, it all stuck down pretty nice. I even put a little bit in the door cards here so that it doesn't rattle around as bad. So overall, took a few days, but laid sound deadening down, and now I've got a nice carpet in here. Do I think I did well with the carpet? Not necessarily, but you know what? It looks better and feels better than the old garbage that was here before. So, Hayden, you've got a perfectly fine engine sitting in this truck, and a transmission that shifts. What the hell are you doing? So the short answer to that question is suffering. Here's my 5.3 liter LS. I'm sure if you can imagine having ATF in my cylinders that this block has been sitting for a minute and needs a lot of work. But having zero attachment to the small block Chevy, I decided that this 5.3 LS that I got for free and that 4L80 that I bought are going to go together and then get stuffed in this bad boy. It did come with a nice set of 799 heads, so at least I've got something going for me. So here's my parts table. The majority of this is going to get replaced once I get my DoD Delete kit coming. So that's that. That's the current state of my project. Here I am, old truck, in pieces, in my garage. However, hopefully not for too long. But while it is in pieces, I'll make sure I take some videos and show you guys what I'm doing. So while I don't completely know what I want this channel to look like, or really what I want the video series on this truck to look like, I'm going to just start recording. And then I'll kind of show you guys along what I'm doing here. Maybe it'll be a little bit educational. Maybe it'll just be a, hey, this is my build kind of deal. Nonetheless, I want to show you guys what I'm doing. And I also really want to record it for myself and push myself to do better. So until then, I hope you'll like and subscribe. Maybe follow along. Maybe you'll enjoy this project build just as much as I will. But until then, thanks for watching.